Floyd Mayweather, easy work, like I said before. Canelo, he's a young, hungry lion. He said Canelo Alvarez is ducking David Benavidez in his honest opinion. And I'm going to talk about that in this video. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button now. Yo, Floyd Mayweather, he's doing PR, and his promotion company is doing promotion for, of course, Gervonta Tank Davis, who fights on Sunday. Should be a banger. I'm looking forward to that particular fight. Tank looks really focused, really locked in, and I love to see it. You know, the maturity I'm seeing from Tank, he's coming along very, very well. But in other news, he says Floyd Mayweather was asked about a variety of different things. Of course, you don't always get to talk to, it's not every day that media gets to talk to Floyd Mayweather. So one of the conversations that had come up was the thought of Canelo moving up to cruiserweight won't want him. Floyd says that in his honest, oh, that's bad. That's dope. What is this? Black Friday. I don't know if that's his spot, but maybe one of his spots. Anywho, Floyd Mayweather said that Canelo going up to fight cruiserweight. You know what? I can show you better than I could tell you. Roll the clip.
I look up and down, but it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up. He's going up to cruise, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy with that, he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean, we got a lot. Benavidez can go and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing, you know, like I said before. But when you are put in a certain position, he should be I mean, he's able to, like me. You know, when I was in the position, I can pick and choose who I want to.
Wow. So Floyd said that guy, referring to Makbouk Air, the guy that Canelo wants to fight, he says he was in the Mayweather gym, and really the Mayweather fighters were getting the best of him, saying that, so Makbouk is, you know, beatable. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying that in sparring, in the doghouse rules, right, that guys were getting the best of him. And you heard him specifically. He says, for my taste, I want to see him fight David Benavidez, and I think he's ducking David Benavidez.
My personal opinion, and I'm opinion he's ducking Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez.
One more again.
Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter. But it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez.
Boom. The great EGOSTRADAMUS strikes again. I mean, it's like I don't miss Steph Curry. I don't miss. Like Drake, I don't miss. EGOSTRADAMUS told you that this was a bad look because of course, Canelo has worked to a position or stature where he's the A side. Nobody denies that. But you're purposely and purposefully going around and tiptoeing and walking on eggshells around the more pertinent fights that people really want to see you in. And ironically enough, when it comes to Canelo does have some racist fans, and the ones that are oftentimes do not like Floyd Mayweather, and they label him a cherry picker, say he ducked, say he waited for guys to get old and out of prime and yada, yada, yada. And these are the things that are said to stain up Floyd Mayweather's name, even though it's really not true. But ironically enough, when it comes to Canelo, the same things that these fans say they hated Floyd for, the detractors and the haters of Floyd, right? They're okay with Canelo, who's blatantly doing it, like actually doing it. So if you hated Floyd and said, oh, Floyd wait for guys to get out of prime and all this and that you hear sometimes from Canelo fans or whatnot, then why would you be okay if you want to see the best versus the best and all this, and you don't want guys that are on the back half of their career or older or whatever? And Floyd already told you when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, it's up to my he told you, he said, how did I wait for Pacquiao to get old and I'm older than Pacquiao? Doesn't even make sense. And he had a lengthy career as well, right? So none of it makes sense, but the actual Canelo man fans, they're okay with Canelo not fighting who the fans want to see him fight, to instead fight Kovalev, who at that space of time was looking washed. Kovalev barely got past Eligder Alvarez in the rematch. Oh, actually, I wouldn't say barely. He boxed him, but he didn't finish him like he's known for, versus like Joe Smith Jr. later finished Eligder Alvarez. So Kovalev didn't look like the same fighter. In addition, Sergey Kovalev was a guy who was on the back half. He had lost to Andre Ward, and then people weren't content with it. So Ward beat him again and beat him even more decisively by stoppage. And then he later lost to Eligder Alvarez, dropped like 3 times in that fight, whatever the case have you. And he almost got stopped by Anthony Yard, who really didn't have no big fight experience like that. And those losses are always good. It's kind of like Teofimo with George Kambosos. When you lose to a guy, or if you do lose to a guy and he don't have experience, that's going to look bad. Losing to Floyd, everybody loses to Floyd. But you lose to a George Kambosos, not a knock on George Kambosos, but Teo was the favorite. And Teo had the bigger fight experiences fighting Lomachenko, and he still lost. So those losses are always going to be worse in the public view, in the public eye. If you lose to Pacquiao, Floyd, or Canelo or somebody, those guys have a lot of experience. So it's not going to be the same as losing to, like I said, somebody who you're supposed to have more big fight experience or more fights than, and things like that. So it's funny to see the Canelo fans, the man fans shift and play this game where they continually move the goalpost, right? Move the goalpost. Hated Floyd, lied on his name, defamed his name and said he ducked all these people, waited for people to get old, cherry picked. This is what the haters say. But you look through his resume, he fought more established former and current champions than anyone in boxing history. So that can't be true. Meanwhile, Canelo's fighting champions, but he's playing it in a really a political space where we know it becomes easier to become a champion. Like there's certain guys like Terrence Crawford. He's a champion. What I mean by that is he's an established champion. If you beat him, you're truly good, right? There's a lot of guys like Rocky Fielding. Somehow he'll stumble on a belt, but he's not really the guy to beat, Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao. Don't even think he beat Pacquiao, and he stumbled on the belt. You know what I mean? So there's certain wins that not all wins are held in the same light, and that's just common sense. There's different severities. Like it's with anything, even with money. We're talking about money. Y'all like money. Y'all like currency. You got guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, guys and girls like Oprah, Richard Branson, right? Warren Buffett. They're at the top echelon. Jack Ma, you know, these people are at the top echelon of finances, right? Versus Soulja Boy or somebody. Okay, Soulja Boy is technically rich, you know. Let's say he makes over $1 million, or who? I'm trying to think of somebody, Danny Lay or something. Like, okay, she got some money, but she don't got like Oprah money. You know what I mean? She don't got Jay-Z money. Dr. Dre, oh, hell yeah. She don't got that money, Mayweather money. So there's different severities to everything. And ultimately, I've been telling you what it is with David Benavidez. I told you Canelo would not fight him because, see, Canelo had an amazing opportunity to prove me wrong. After the David Benavidez performance against late replacement, because his initial opponent was scared and decided to juice, so he had no choice but to have a substitute opponent. And that guy had a lot of heart, Caron Davis. And the guy also arguably beat Anthony Durrell. But in that, David Benavidez, off that type of performance, I told you Canelo would not fight him next. Boom. Canelo's talking about fighting Makbouk winner. And then to make that even more, the reason, there's multiple reasons I don't like it, but one of the main reasons I don't like it is because there's people who are at cruiserweight that deserve those opportunities. And now Makbouk got to fight his mandatory, and Canelo's supposed to be in attendance for this smaller Don King show because he's trying to cherry pick the winner. And David Benavidez is a bigger fight. It's a better fight. Like, that's danger right there. So if you want danger, you don't have to go to cruiserweight to get danger. There's danger close to you. Jermall Charlo, Demetrius Andre, David Benavidez, right? Artur Beterbiev. So we see the games that Canelo is playing. He's like, oh, I'm setting history, but no one really asked for this history. You know, like nobody could mess with Roy Jones Jr. in his prime. So he's doing all this stuff, going to heavyweight and stuff like that. Canelo is like a game show, and they're like, it's like Squid Games. And then the doctor, he's getting advance notice of the games. You know what I mean? The games that are being played. So he has an upper hand, and Canelo's using and exploiting his stature to really cherry pick and duck David Benavidez and fights that are really bigger. So it's remarkable to see Canelo fans not acknowledge this and act like these are the fights they wanted. Rocky Fielding and Amir Khan, and they want Makbouk fights, and, you know, Billy Joe Saunders, who wasn't established at the 168-pound division. And they got the nerve to talk about this man on the screen, Floyd Mayweather. So I'm glad Floyd called it out. And he said, if you listen to the interview again, rewind this video, he said, just like Winky Wright said, he won David Benavidez. So basically, Canelo's supposed to be the people's champ, and everybody's requesting one of a few fights. They're like, these are the only guys that can challenge you. Canelo's saying, hey, even though you guys believe these are the best challenges for me, I'm going to move up to another weight class and fight some random African that's not a big fight, and I'm going to call it history making. You know, so Tim Bradley said it at this point. Floyd Mayweather said it. Ego said it. EGOSTRADAMUS said it before everybody. So bad look for Canelo. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.